Hello students, in continuation to previous slide of chapter number 1 of civics, that is understanding diversity, in which we discussed the story of Samir 1 and Samir 2. So here are some inferences which we can draw from a story of Samir 1 and Samir 2. First one is, even though people are different in the form of language, culture, religion, etc., they can still communicate and become friends. It's not mandatory that we shall be same in order to be each other's friends. Though we may have communication barriers, but we can still be friends if we put efforts or if it's important for us to communicate. This story gives a nice message, but it points out one another difference which comes in front of us. That is inequality. So how inequality depicted in the story? Just stop the video and think for a minute, students. One example of inequality given in the story is Samir 1 went to school while Samir 2 did not, right? But this difference would not be said as diversity. It will be said as inequality. But why? Because Samir 2 did not have the opportunity to go to school. If he had the opportunity and he did not choose to go, so that was his choice. But here, he was not having any choice or resources to go to school. So, what is inequality then, students? So, here we can say inequality means when a person does not have the equal access to resources and opportunities available to the other person. While diversity comes from our choices. We have the resources, but we are choosing not to take it. So in diversity, it's a choice. Everybody is different and differs. But in inequality, we don't have the resources. We don't have the choice, right? So, students, now we'll start with another topic, that is diversity in India. As you know, India is a form of many diversities. It have lots of different languages, religions, food, festivals, etc. That is why India is considered to be the colorful nation. If we think so, from where did this diversity came from? Around 200 years ago, people traveled from one part of the world to another in ships, on horses, on camels, or on foot. So here first question comes, why did they used to travel? So here are some 5 reasons. First one is they used to travel from one place to another in search of new lands or some places to settle down. Second, they used to travel for trade purpose. Third, they left their homes because of famines. Famines means widespread scarcity of food, which is caused by several factors, including war, inflation, crop failure, population imbalance, or government policies. Or droughts. So, to search for food, as like it's very difficult to find food at a place where the land has become very dry. So, in search of food, they used to travel from one place to another. Fourth is in search of work. And the last one is because of some war. That is when they are living at some place and the war has taken place at that place. So they have to move at some other place. Okay. So I'll again repeat the 5 points that why they used to travel from one place to another. First, in search for new lands to settle down. Second, for trade purposes. Third, they left their homes because of famines and droughts. Fourth, in search of food and work, and the fifth because of some war. So, when people begin to make homes in new places, some people began to change a little, and other times they did things in old ways. So, their languages, music, food, religions became a mix of new and old. Therefore, regions became very diverse because of their unique histories. Similarly, diversity also comes when people adapt their lives in geographical area in which they live. For example, living near the sea is quite different from living in a mountain area, as they have different clothing, different eating habits, different kinds of work. Thus, we can say historical and geographical factors affects the diversity of that region. So, to understand it in more clear way, we will take an example of Kerala and Ladakh in next slide, and also discuss the various forms of diversity prevailing in India.